Thank you for joining me for another episode of the Past the Present podcast. I'm your host, Alan the Great. Hold on, I'm going to do that again because I don't think it was recording yet. All right, let's try that again. Thank you for joining another episode of Past the Present podcast. I'm your host, Alan the Great. I want to thank you for being here with us. I got another very, very special guest, my sister-in-law. Haven't seen her for a while, but had a great conversation before we got started. She's an advocate fighting back against lupus. She's here to educate us all, including myself, on what is lupus and how we all can fight back and bring more awareness to this disease that I feel like does not get the attention it needs, does not get enough press in fighting back. So we want to bring awareness to this disease right now. And I hope everyone listening learns something and also participate in the help to fight back against lupus. Without further ado, I want to introduce Sheena. How you doing, Sheena?
Hi, how you doing, Alan the Great? How are
I'm
you?
doing, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So, first question I got
Good.
to ask you is, when were you diagnosed with lupus?
I was diagnosed in 2007.
Mm.
I was having trouble with my hair falling out. So when I went to the hairdresser and she suggested that I get, you know, updated on lupus. And I was like, well, I know my mom has it, but I didn't really know too much about it. So I went and got tested, and it came back that it was positive, and that explained like the migraine headaches and stuff like that I had,
You ever had like
and
the
fatigue and tired and stuff like that.
yeah, you have like the flare ups on your skin? Have you ever had like the flare ups on your skin? Because I know some of the symptoms they say is like sometimes you have like skin flare ups, uh, aches in your bones. You ever have any of those type of symptoms?
I have those symptoms every day,
Mm.
every day with aches and pains and migraines. And but my migraines slowed down now because I got a daith piercing, and the daith piercing is right here in your ear, and it relieves the pressure from having a migraine. So I have less migraines, but it's aches and pains in your joints and swelling, and like the Raynaud's disease comes with lupus, where your hands, you know how you be outside all day and your hands turn white,
Hmm.
but you don't be outside. You could just be here at home warm, and your hands are turn white and achy and things of that nature.
How does it affect things like your diet? Like I'm asking. I know I researched it, but for the audience, I want to know how does it affect your diet? Like, can you eat regular foods? Is there certain things that you have to avoid because it causes flare-ups, or are you able to just eat just a regular diet without any restrictions?
No, there's definitely restrictions. I can only speak for me because honestly, no two people are the same.
Okay.
Everybody of it affects lupus. I mean, lupus affects everybody different.
Mm-hmm.
No two people are the same. It's like a wolf. Like it's so. Um, for I could just speak for me. It affects my hair falling out, and it affects my joints, and it can affect your kidneys, your lungs, your memory, and but it hasn't affected my kidneys or lungs, but it does my heart. The muscle around my heart, I have to take medication because the muscle around my heart gets inflamed, and it feels like you're having a heart attack, but you're really not. And it
That's what.
affects my hearing because I have a hearing aid, so affects my hearing as well.
See, that's one of the questions I was going to ask you. Does it affect everyone the same? Because when I looked at, like, did my research on lupus to learn more about it, I seen all these different symptoms. And like I said, I've known you for a long time, and
Mm-hmm.
some of the symptoms, like just on appearance, I didn't see with you. Now, granted, I don't see you every day or see you
Mm-hmm.
often, but you're thinking like, okay, is this one big bubble that all these symptoms are, or is this symptoms just kind of like different for everybody else? But of course, you already answered that question. So,
Right.
how does it like? So you said it affects the muscles around your heart to make you feel like a heart
Mm-hmm.
attack. What is
Mm-hmm.
it like living with lupus for those who are out there right now who don't have it? What is it like living with this? Like, what is your daily life like? Just yours particular.
Okay, well, let me go back before I answer that. Let me go back to you did ask me about the diet, and we got kind of off of that. For
Okay.
me, I felt better when I stopped eating beef and pork.
Mm,
I felt better, but then once I stopped eating chicken and turkey, like all meat,
mm,
stopped eating it, I felt so much better. I had more energy, and I wasn't as nauseous. Because with the medication, everything, you do feel nauseous with certain foods, and I'm dairy free, 100% dairy free. Now I do eat shrimp, fish, things like that, salmon, seafood. But I try to stay away from all meats and all dairy. Now that helps me. Some people probably can't. And I drink a lot of protein drinks because I don't eat any meat. So, and it affects your weight up. Your weight will go up and down too, depending on what you eat and with the medication.
Gotcha. Now let's go back to your diet for a second because I'm going to out you on something, Sheena. I seen you post where you sneaking a Pepsi every now and then. Is it Pepsi?
That was a long time ago, Alan. That was a long time ago.
I just I had to shoot that next. She's like, yeah,
no, that was a long time ago. But
let me see
if I drink a Pepsi, that's when I'll have that pain. And for a long time, I was addicted to Pepsi and didn't know why I felt the way that I felt. And it would like dry me out and everything.
So it's crazy. It's like this disease, and like I said at the beginning of the show, this disease doesn't get a lot of awareness. I'm gonna be honest with you, because I like to be honest on the show. I didn't know nothing about lupus until I found out that you were diagnosed with lupus, that you were not, that you were diagnosed, that you had lupus, and that's when it kind of like hit me to get more aware of it and learn more about it because I was like, what is lupus? Like I honestly didn't know nothing about it because you see a lot of commercials, you see a lot of press about cancer walks, all kinds of support and foundations to support cancer research. But to be honest, you don't hear a lot about lupus. And that's why I asked you to come on to speak about it, because even on the show, I did an episode about breast cancer. And as I did it, I was like, we never talked about lupus, though. And this disease does affect people's life. And as you mentioned, it's affecting your diet. And, even, your Pepsi addiction, it might cure the Pepsi addiction, but it affects you in a negative way where it makes you have to change things. And it's just crazy when it talks about affecting your organs and stuff, because we're talking about organ failure, right? Like
yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So your kidney failure and that sort of thing.
Right. And I did take a couple notes because even though I have it all, downloaded, because I've been to so many seminars, so many walks, so many symposiums and things like that. But it, sometimes you forget like right off the bat. So for anyone who wants a free information kit, they can always go to www.lupusfightersofamerica.com. And that you can download all the information. Any questions that you have, they'll be happy to answer you those questions. And but for the symptoms, it's skin rash, chest pain, and that's what I was having a chest pain, and baldness, hair loss. You have nose and mouth and throat sores. It feels like a what do you call like a cold sore?
Yeah, cold sore.
Like a cold sore, but it's like inside of your mouth, and you can not eat anything hot, not drink anything hot, and your lymph nodes will get real swollen. You have your weight fluctuates, severe joint pain, circulation, bad circulation. Remember I said about the Raynaud's, and swelling, terrible. So, really, if you have any of those symptoms, you really should get tested. Testing is very important for you to be aware for, just so you can, the earlier you start, the better off you'll be as far as the medication. Like I said, in 2007, when I found out, I started, reading about it. If you don't feel comfortable, they have a lot of information online about lupus. But because it doesn't really get talked about like that, people really don't know. Unless you're diagnosed with it or someone in your family is diagnosed with it, you might see a commercial here and there, about it, but more so for the lupus, May is Lupus Awareness Month. So they really push that, I don't know why it's just 1 month, but they really push that. And we have a walk at Harriet Tubman Park every May, or either May or June. But, because of COVID, they did it online, and, you can donate I have a Team Serlina, named after my grandmom. So that's, if you ever want to go online and look up Team Selena, we have a whole page out there.
So you see, you just answered a couple of my questions right there. I was going to ask you about Team Selena and get into the walk and
Mm-hmm.
everything, but see, you already ahead of me. You on top of things
I
here.
was ready. I was ready for you
Absolutely,
today.
you
I
was
get excited.
prepared.
I get excited bringing awareness to this because so many people do not. I mean, we just had a symposium 2 weeks ago,
Mm,
and it's on Zoom, and it just gives you so much information, so much information.
absolutely, absolutely. And one of the things I want to speak about, add to what Sheena just told y'all, 90% of people who are diagnosed with lupus have been women in between the ages of 15 and 45. So it's very
Mhm.
important to get early detection with this. It's very important. There are some, I'm sure there are some medications that help you manage your symptoms, but there is no cure for lupus. Am I correct? There's still no
That is
cure for this
correct.
disease. Yeah,
That
so
is
it's
correct.
still, as they're saying, there's technology now and there's medication that help you, as they say, live a normal life when you have lupus. But as you're telling us, Sheena, a normal life can be very vague because, I mean, what some people deem a normal life is I can eat what I want, drink what I want. I'm not dealing with these symptoms. Whereas you have to change your
Limit.
diet.
Hmm.
You have to not drink or eat certain things, and you're still feeling these symptoms. You had to get a piercing to help with the migraines. So, have living a normal life could, be different from person to person. We get that the symptoms are different, but it's very important that we all, and especially young women, because like I said, ages 15 to 45, that's the window, and this is a genetic disease that's passed down through family members. Is that correct?
Yes, that is
So it's
correct. My
important.
my mother has it, and my grandmother, she, along with cancer, she passed away from it as well.
Mm,
And also, it's more African Americans than any race. It's more prominent African Americans, but men
it's
can also get it, but more prominent in women.
absolutely. That's another important thing too. For men, like, and we said this about the breast cancer, because a lot of times what men think when they hear someone say 90% of the people diagnosed with lupus is women, you start to figure, well, men can't get it. Well, that's not true. Men can get this
Hmm.
too. So it's important as our men as well. I know a lot of times men, we don't like going to doctor's appointments. We don't like checkups. And sometimes we think ignorance is bliss, where we figure if I don't know, it can't hurt me. That's not true.
That's correct.
Sometimes when we don't know, won't hurt us, it'll literally kill us. So it's
That's
important
right.
to get early detection of lupus so that you can manage the symptoms a lot better. And hopefully one day we can have a cure for this disease and that more awareness and this disease becomes more prominent in the mainstream media where they bring more awareness and more attention to donations to this. So if people want to donate, they can donate to they can donate using the information that you gave me. I'm going to make sure that's in the description tab. So, next question I want to ask you about is family support. How important is family support in understanding what you're going through with lupus? How important is that?
For me, it's so very important. I have so much love and support with my husband, with my children, with my grandchildren when they know, because a lot of times folks with lupus, we don't want to put that burden on our loved ones, and
Mm,
a lot of times like you said, you didn't even know because I'm fighting it. I'm not going to give into it. So my husband
mm,
gets a little upset because I don't tell him when I'm hurting, but sometimes it gets so overbearing that you can't even hide it. And with having
mm.
that support of just being there, not even doing anything, just being there, whether you need a massage, you need food cooked, helping put your clothes on, helping bathe. A lot of those, you definitely need that support. There's no, I don't see how anyone can live with lupus without that family support. Family, friends. I have friends that are supportive as well.
Mm. It's
It's
very
very
important. I
important.
think
Because
absolutely. So family members as well, even if
mhm.
you don't, and for people watching the show, even if you're not diagnosed or don't have symptoms of lupus, it's important for people to watch this too because you may have a loved one who's suffering from this disease. And information that you can obtain from what Sheena is sharing with us today, you can use that into helping support that person, understanding how you can help and assist them because we ain't giving up with this disease. I feel like Sheena, you're a warrior, you're very tough, And I mean that in the most beautiful way possible. I know if anybody's can beat this, it's going to be you. You know, and it's funny
Yes.
because me and you had conversations. We had long conversations. Now that you mention it, you have never mentioned the fact that you had lupus. And, you know, we had those conversations, but you never mentioned it to me. And like I
Yeah.
said, you never showed signs of it. So, but I always looked at you as a very strong person. You know, you just
Thank you.
mentally, you're very strong. How does this disease affect you mentally, and how do you figure it will affect others mentally daily? Well, on mentally on a daily basis, and put it that way.
Mental health is so like I get emotional when I think about it, really, because some days you're up, some days you're down, and
Mm.
some days you can I can go out, I can have a good time, and the next day I can't move, and that messes with you mentally. Like how is this possible? I was just feeling good 3 hours ago. You know, from depression, from anxiety, because you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. You know, am I going to feel good tomorrow? You have functions, you have people that want to take you out, come to your house, or, you know, go to a party or whatever. But it's like, I don't even really like scheduling things with anybody because I'm not sure how I'm going to feel within the next hour. And that really messes with you mentally. And I've read online a lot about how to cope with lupus and mental illness because
Mm.
they have a lot out there, but it's like everybody is different, and you can look online for it, but it's like sometimes that's not what I'm going through. And I'm glad I
Right.
have a supportive husband that understands that today I'm up, tomorrow I'm down, and it's not like I want to, but with this illness, it doesn't care if you want to or not.
Mm.
You know, it's like they call it the wolf disease because it just comes out of nowhere. You know what I mean? It just jumps out on you out of nowhere. That's why it's good to be aware and to know, like, oh, this must be a episode. Let me be more aware. Even the person who has lupus has to be more aware because
Mm.
you can even talk to your mate or talk to whoever your support system is and explain to them, you know, this is how it is, and it's up to them if they, you know, if they want to support you or not, if they can handle it, because it's hard. Because I know it's hard because it's hard for me, so I know it's hard for everyone around me.
It's an interesting perspective. I got an extra question real quick. I got two questions, but I'll save one for after this one. You say it's the wolf disease, and you say it can jump out at you anytime. So when you say that, you mean like let's say you're on vacation or something. You want to go to the beach or something. You have there's no real signs of when it's going to happen. So you may have a flare up, aches, the migraines. So the symptoms may just jump out and literally may come out of nowhere without any warning. So it's like you
Right,
can't
and
even
rip you
prepare for them. Is
apart
that what you're telling me?
and rip you
Whew.
apart.
Wow.
It will rip you apart. It's like sometimes my feet, the top of my feet hurts. You
Mhm.
think, where the heck did this come from? You see what I mean? It's like
Mhm.
it'll just jump out at you and take over
Wow.
for 2 days, and then the next 5 days you're fine. Then the next day you're not. That just messes with you. And you can't. The sun is a no no. That's another. The sunlight is a no no. You can't be
Wow.
out there for a long time. You have to have some sort of like protection from the sun, hats, what have you. The sun is not your friend when you have lupus.
Wow. So it's like, how do you plan like vacations and stuff? Like when you don't know when these flare-ups gonna happen and stuff gonna happen. Like how do you? As I know, you know, you and your husband want to go on vacation or something. How do you plan your vacations and stuff around this disease, not knowing what's gonna happen when the flare-ups going to kick in? How do you plan your vacations?
On a wing and a prayer, my brother.
Mm.
Wing and a, but just make sure that you have the space to,
Mhm.
like, say if you want to go away for a week, make sure you have a secure hotel room because it might be one or two of those days that you might have to lay in the bed.
Mm.
That's why it's good to have a under support system that understands
Right.
that, you know, I'm not doing this on purpose. You know, if we go to Vegas or somewhere like that, my husband knows it could be a possibility that we might have to stay in the room, but we press that luck because it's a possibility that we don't have to stay in the room.
Right.
So it's just like winging a prayer. Just got to press your luck.
Now I understand when you talk about relationships and when you're dating someone, you know, when you have cancer, I guess the symptoms are a little bit different, and you know, you can. It's not like it sneaks up on you. You know, you have to take certain let's say, what is it, doing radiation that you have to take, so you know what kind of symptoms you're going to deal with that. With lupus, like you said, it's a wolf. You know, you plan a vacation, you go to Vegas, you're expecting to have a good time, walk the strip, gamble, and do all these things. Then all of a sudden, no. Lupus tell you no, you're going to sit in a room for 3 days and you're just going to have to lay in bed for 3 days. So it makes you wonder, like when you're trying to establish a relationship, whether you're a man or a woman, and you go through the courting period where you're getting to know someone. I know that has to be one that when you're starting to think that to take something more serious, is that a difficult conversation to have about the lupus disease and how it affects you and how it not only affects your life but affects your mates? Was that a difficult conversation to have with your husband at the beginning?
For me, it was because I didn't want to run him away. But I knew from doing research that it's good to let him know offhand. Let them know about it, let them read about it. But when when you tell a person that you have lupus and they go and read about it on their own, and when the next time you meet them, they let you know, this is what I found out and I'm here for you, that's a person you want to keep.
Absolutely.
So for me, it was it was a, should I tell them, should I not? Should I tell them, should I not? But then just knowing by, like I said, reading on it, and you should let them know in the beginning, because I wouldn't want me hiding that, and then it comes out that I do have it and they can't deal with it, then you got vested in this person. So I would say let them know, you know, early on, whether you're going to be a friend or more than a friend. I still think you should let them know, and so they can be aware of what's coming.
That's dope though, and shout out to your husband for being such a dope husband, being such a
Very
strong
good.
support system, for being such a strong man, and being another warrior by your side, helping you fight this disease. And once again, like I said, you know, just knowing how you are, seeing your husband and your beautiful family, I know there's no way in the world this disease could even begin to think it has a chance at defeating
Right,
you. You have such a strong
right.
support system, such a beautiful family, such a loving and strong husband, and you have such a loving and strong spirit yourself. So this, I know, if anybody can defeat this disease and fight back and bring more attention and awareness to this disease, it's
Yes,
you.
thank
That's why I wanted to bring you on. Such an amazing person, and like I said,
you.
shout out to your husband again. We gotta give
And
him
my
much
children
respect
too.
because it's,
And my children
yeah,
too.
absolutely, your children too,
My
absolutely your
children and my
children too,
grandchildren.
because yes,
They
yes,
will
'cause
be
it
here.
affects them as well. Yes, 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 yes. And you know, I know it affects your grandchildren when you want to take them out shopping and doing things, you know. So they have to
Yeah.
be soldiers along with it too, just to understand what grandma's going through. So I know that can be challenging at times too, right?
Yeah, they'll say, Mama,
How,
we understand. Well, do you need something? They'll rub my shoulders or something like that. And I just have to tell them, you know, my mom's tired. Maybe like, okay, well, you lay down. But see, they're 10 now, so they can cook. They can, you know, but when they will be back over here, because now that they're back in school, I can't see them like I used to now that they're back in school.
right? You blessed. You blessed. You got the whole package going on there. You
Listen,
got the
highly
grandkids,
favored.
the kids. You got the
I will
husband.
not
You got it
complain.
going on. Hey
I will not
man, hey
complain,
you.
Alan. I don't,
Yes, yes,
because guess
yes,
what?
yes.
I tell myself every day it could always be worse. That's why I'm so blessed to
Absolutely,
work from home, so that way I can just walk 5 steps and I'll be in the other office. You know, so I'm blessed and highly favored. I don't complain at all.
absolutely, absolutely. How does it affect you? Now that you mentioned, how does it affect you at work? Like, I know you work from home. Do you work from home because you're suffering from this disease, or you work from home just because it's your job? How does it affect you? You know, you're working.
Well, I work from home
Did you
because
have to
it's
tell
my
your employer
job.
about it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because I applied for FMLA for days that I cannot get out of the bed.
Okay,
So they had
okay,
it's something called intermittent FMLA. So if anyone is suffering from lupus or any chronic illness, you can inquire with your human resource department and tell them that you want to apply for intermittent FMLA, meaning only sometimes. I don't need to be out for 6 months at a time. I can just on the days that I feel like that I cannot move, I can call and say I'm using FMLA, and it protects your job. So, but if you run out of like PTO time or whatever time that your company uses, it protects your job. You might not get paid if your time runs out, but it will
okay.
FMLA will protect your job. So that's what I have. But I try not to abuse it because I'm already working from home. But some days I just can't. But like I will fight. I will push till I can't.
See, that's some good information too, because a lot of people probably don't know about their rights and some of the resources they
Yeah.
have at work. Because, like you said, this could affect you even at work. This disease is the wolf that sneaks up on you. So even at work, for those who don't work from home, have to go into office, may not be able to. So know your options. Speak to your human resource people. And Sheena, you just gave us a lot of good information, a lot of wisdom to people out there who's dealing with this disease. You know, I have to ask you a question, and I'm asking you this because I know there's an audience member out there that's listening right now that's probably feeling this way. They just got diagnosed with lupus. They're
Hmm.
afraid. They're scared. They did the research, but you know how when you research stuff online, it can be very scary. You read WebMD, and sometimes you might just have a pimple, but they telling you you're going to die because you got cancer. You only got 3 days to live. You know what I mean?
Yes,
So,
yes.
for all seriousness, though, they've just been diagnosed with lupus, and they're very
Hmm.
nervous. They're scared. They don't know what to expect. They're fearing the worst. What advice, and I know all symptoms are different, excuse me, air piece keep popping out. What advice would you give to a person that just been diagnosed? They Their symptoms may be different to yours, but they're nervous. What would you say to them?
Well, the first thing I would say is call a rheumatologist. Reach out to your primary care doctor. Advise them that you need to see a rheumatologist if you have any of the symptoms that I spoke about earlier. So that's the first step. The second step is diet and exercise. It's very important of what you put in your body and the way you treat your body. That even though a lot of exercise for me, I don't like exercising because the next day I'm like I can't move. I'm already in pain. But even if you walk, ride a bike or something like that, and that's something I need to do better on myself. But diet, call your doctor, diet, exercise, and one of the most important points is stress free.
Mm,
Try not to be around any stressful situation because stress will bring a flare. Stress will,
mm,
oh, I forgot about that earlier, to mention that earlier, but stress is one of the key factors of obtaining a flare. Try to keep your stress level low as possible. I try to live my life as stress free as possible. Everyone has a little stress, so you think about things and worry about some things, but try to keep a stress free life much as you can. That helps.
yeah, absolutely. So, what are some of the tools that you use to limit stress in your life? I'm asking for myself now. This is a very selfish question, okay? Selfish question. I'm just trying to get some advice here. To not deal with stress. So, what's some of the
Whatever you
tools you
need.
use to not deal with stress, to limit the stress in your life?
Well, I keep a small circle,
Hmm.
meditate. I get a lot of me time where, I might just want to watch TV. I might just want to look on my phone, or I might just want to lay there and meditate. But that's very important too. Get your me time. Anything that causes you stress or you think causes you stress, you got to step away from, because that's a big deal. My main thing to help me is my me time, where I can just shut the world out for at least a couple hours, and just have quiet time. That's what helps me. Some people I know, when I
Yeah.
talk to some people, talking about their issues with someone, someone who loves and cares for you, that understands.
Right.
And you know, but I really don't do that. I really keep to me time and get my thoughts together.
Yeah. Self care is important. Very important. One
Definitely.
of the things I tell people all the time, especially women, self care. Sometimes you gotta be, think about yourself more and just take some
Being
time
selfish.
to yourself, relax, get your nails done, pedicure, whatever it is. Just get some time to yourself to let you breathe. A lot of times women just, ladies, you just deal with a lot. Y'all just carry a lot on your shoulders
Right.
more than people actually give y'all credit for. So sometimes, sometimes you just gotta look. I'm gonna lock myself in the bathroom with some Milano cookies, and well, I know you can't eat them, but
I know for me, I was so worried about being a wife, a wife, a mother, a grandmother, an employee. I just was like, you know what? Where am I at? where am I at? Where do I fit at in all this? Because I'm busy making sure everyone else, because, you know, I'm a caretaker, you know,
Right.
and I love to take care of people. I love to see people happy. But then you think,
Right.
well, I like to see everybody else happy, but what about me? So, you know, I started making
True.
myself happy. Shop, get my
There
hair
you go.
done, do nothing, say no. So that's a couple of things that
That's
I'm
a key
working on for
word.
myself.
I like that what you just said right there. I'm sorry. I know we're going off subject from lupus real quick. We just gonna have a little conversation, sidebar conversation right now. But I love what you just said right there. Say no. And I
Yeah,
know we heard about that. Say no to drugs. Sometimes you gotta say no to people and not be feel guilty about saying no to people. A lot of times, and this going back to lupus and stress and all that. A lot of times the stress and the flare ups can come from bringing on people's stress because you're trying to stretch yourself too thin with doing too much for other people. And sometimes you just gotta learn to say no and be okay being the bad guy or for nobody liking you for that moment. And don't feel like you're being selfish if you say no. Listen, I tell people all the time, if I can do it for you, I will. If I can't, then I'm going to tell you I can't do it, you know? And sometimes you just got to think about your own house and make sure your own house is clean. And especially when you're dealing with like diseases like lupus and other diseases, sometimes when you have to limit your stress, you just got to say no to people and understand anybody that truly loves you, they will understand that, look, I'm not saying it because I don't want to give it to you. I'm saying it because
right.
I don't have it to give to you. And I
I have
got
to
to think
give it
about
to you.
my own health, my own mental health, and my own happiness and make sure I'm good. I love that you said say no. I think I got to do an episode called Say No now.
Say
I'm going
no.
to have to do
That's right.
it.
It'll help you.
Yeah.
It'll help your mind, body, and soul. Honestly.
Yeah, true,
And there's
true,
another thing
true.
too. When I was saying about the causes, you know, that causes
Mm,
flare with that sunlight, whatever food you eat, and also medication. A lot of times, the medications that you take before the doctors are so quick to just say, "Here, try this, try this, try that." Before you do that, you should do your research on it, because a lot of
yeah,
medications that's out here, whether it be like anxiety medications, you know,
mm,
diabetes, you know, high blood pressure, all those medications, they can cause a flare. So also
mm.
medication is very important. Do your research before you start taking all these different medications. Because when you're first diagnosed, they're trying to fill your body out. So they're going to keep giving you all these different type of medications till they see which one works for you. I did that for like 10
Yeah,
years.
yeah, they love saying that we're going to keep adjusting medication and see if it works. You start feeling like a guinea pig or something, like they're just
Yeah. So I
experimenting
start
on you. Then you got to deal with the side effects, or you take a medicine for the side effects, and before you know it, you got 20 pills. You know, you're
right
taking a pill for another pill.
because
Yeah.
the medication I take for my heart, I have to take something for my stomach. So that's
Mm,
another pill on top of that. But I limited. When I changed my diet, I didn't have to take 5 medications since I've changed my
right.
diet, not eating the meat and the dairy. So that,
So
like I
that's the
said, that
most
helps out.
that was very important. Then changing your diet, well, seriousness, that was very important in, maintaining, these keeping these flares down and this lupus from getting out of control. Changing your diet was one of the most important things you did, correct?
That is correct. That
Okay,
changed my diet, me time, saying no, very and
absolutely.
stress free.
Okay, so
Very.
before I let you go, I got one more question for you.
Okay.
COVID. How has COVID? How does COVID affect lupus? Does it have any effects where it will cause extra flare-ups or cause the people concern for people who have lupus? Does COVID put you more at risk?
COVID definitely puts you more at risk because your immune system is low.
Mm,
So you have to stay from. Uh, that's why I just stay out the way. I don't. We don't go out. I mean, we just started going out to eat because I've been so fit. Well, it's really not even me. It's more so my husband. He's afraid of getting sick and giving it to me. I can't see my
right.
grandchildren right now because my
Mm,
daughter works in a healthcare facility, and she's
mm,
like, if I get this and give it, because she could have it and not know it, and then give it to me.
right.
So it that affects me mentally too because I'm so used to seeing them. But
Mm,
for me, I just try to stay with less people as possible. Really, just to be just me and my husband. Really,
right.
that's why I stay around because I'm just afraid of getting sick because when having lupus, your immune system is really low. So you
That's very
have to be
important.
aware and be aware of your surroundings, wear your mask, my hands hurt so bad from washing and putting hand sanitizer on it, but I know that could possibly help me live and not, get sick. I'm not really one to get like a cold sick, because that's what I do. I stay out the way.
I'm glad you mentioned that and talked about the immune system being weakened with lupus too, because a lot of times when we're talking about COVID and dealing with COVID, a lot of the focus is on elderly people and making sure they don't get sick, or people
Right.
who are fighting cancer and stuff. But you forget, once again, I have to keep emphasizing on this and keep making a big point to hammer this home that lupus does not get the attention it needs. Because even when you talk about COVID, see, you're not mentioning that people who are suffering from this disease, lupus disease, are at risk. And because their immune system is so weak, that this
Mhm.
COVID can really hurt them. So once again, reason I wanted to do this episode was so important was to bring awareness to this, because like I said, some people have family members, loved ones, moms, aunts, cousins, kids who have lupus and don't truly understand all of that goes with it. And just simple things like you going out to the supermarket or going to work, and like COVID doesn't always show symptoms right away. You can give them these symptoms and put them
Right.
in danger. So it's important that we're having this conversation and that people are being aware of all these factors that comes into keeping your loved ones and even yourself safe. So yeah,
That
it's
is correct.
important. Now, are you thinking about getting the vaccine? I'm sorry, go ahead. What you guys say?
No, I'm not. I
No,
don't
no, I
even
want
get
you.
the flu shot. I don't
No, I
even get
want
the
you.
flu shot, so I don't. I
I,
don't
I
think I'm gonna get the vaccine.
now I didn't want to interrupt your thought because you was about to say something. I'm sorry. What did you guys say?
Yeah, I was gonna say, even though they say lupus affects people from African American women from 15 to between 15 and 45. I
Mm,
know my grandmother, she was diagnosed at 60. I know
mm,
someone who's on in the lupus group, because it's a couple lupus groups on Facebook too. I'll get that in a minute. But she was
okay.
11 diagnosed with lupus. So any of those symptoms, whether you're a child to an older adult, you still should get checked if you have any of those symptoms. But
Absolutely.
on Facebook, it's a couple groups on Facebook that I'm a part of. You can just type in lupus on the bar, and it'll give you all the support system. They have a support system on there. They have someone um, eating more healthier, someone on there exercising, someone on there that you can reach out to if you're having like a mental breakdown. It's really, really a good support system to be, on Facebook too. People always say bad things about Facebook, but that's one place you can go to look up information on lupus. They're sharing their story, very encouraging stories and survival and things of that nature. And even people that are just supporters. Some people don't even have lupus, and it's a lot of men on there as well that support their
Mhm.
wives supporting their husbands that have lupus. So you can go on there, even if you don't have lupus, you can go on there as a supporter as well. They have support
Absolutely.
groups for people who are taking care of people from lupus. Because I know a support group here in the Bear Library. They have a support group as well.
Okay. And you're right. People give Facebook a bad name. I know sometimes Facebook has a lot of drama, but so does TV. You watch reality
Exactly.
shows. There's
Your
drama. So
friends.
yeah, Facebook's a tool. I mean, I always say Facebook's a tool. You get from it what you put into it and what you entertain yourself with. And Facebook is
Exactly.
a great tool to actually get these resources out here, get information out, but more importantly, get support. Because I know you have a very strong support system, and you're very blessed to have that. And for those who don't have that strong support system, don't underestimate, social media, like you said, Bear Library, and certain other places that you can get that support that you may not have home, so that you don't have to fight this disease alone. You can find support, and we're going to get all that information in the description tab of this show, so that you can know where to find support for lupus. Get on the phone if you need to contact someone or learn more. And even if you're not suffering from lupus, it's still important to learn about it, because you may have a loved one suffering from it. It's still important to have the information so that you can be truly supportive and know what they're going through and know how to help them during those difficult times. But I also want to speak on what Sheena said, which was very important. Thank you for speaking on this, Sheena, where you said your grandmother got diagnosed at 60 years old. Yes, they say the parameters are 15 to 45, but I think it's important to drive home as well. That does not mean that you can't be younger than 15 and get diagnosed. It doesn't mean that you can't be older. That's because you're older you can't be diagnosed. No, still get checked. If you feel symptoms where you feeling hair coming out, you're feeling aches, and you know your body better than anyone else. Receive
Right.
something that doesn't feel right, don't go
Right.
by the parameters. Oh, 1545, only women. No, get checked out. It's better to be safe than sorry. Get checked. If the doctor tell you, okay, you're good, great. But if you do, then it's good for early detection so you can have a better chance to fight back against this disease. And
Right.
Sheena, if somebody wants to join your team to do a lupus walk, are they still able to join your team?
They can join anytime. They can join, they can sign up, donate, walk. Right now, we don't have a date for this year's Lupus Walk because they're still trying to figure out if we will have like a in-person walk this year or still do virtually. But it's
Okay.
Lupus. Why did I just draw a darn blank?
It's okay. It's okay because you can just hit me up later and I'll put
Lupus
it in the
America,
description if you don't remember.
lupus.org, lupus.org. You can go on lupus.org and you can look. They have Philadelphia, New Jersey, and Delaware. Delaware, New Jersey, and
Yes.
yeah, Delaware, New Jersey. And Lupus Foundation is, they're such a big support. They really are. Lupus Foundation of America, that's what it is. .org. And they have financial assistance because sometimes dealing with lupus, the medications are like, I had one medication is like $400 and that's just for 30 tablets. So they have foundations that will help you with those doctor's appointments. If you need a ride, if you need help with payment, whether it's doctor's office or medication, physical therapy, any type like that. If you go to Lupus America, they will help. There's all types of tools on there that can help you. And also Lupus Foundation of America.org is also a website that you can go on to get the support mentally, physically, financially. They have all the support out there.
Absolutely. Lupus.org. Yes, get that. You can get onto the website. It does have a button. I'm looking at it right now. Has a button where if you want to donate money right now, you click the button and donate to the fight against lupus. Also, there's a phone number 1202-349-1155. And the business hours are Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can call that number to get more information not only about lupus, but how you can support the fight against lupus. Also on the website, it does have information about, excuse me, Sheena's team as far as Lucas Walk, as well as other teams that you can
Or you
sign
can
up
do
for,
your own
how you
team.
can be a part of the fight. Yeah, you can even create your own team. So all this information is available on lupus.org. I will make sure that all this information is available in the description tab so you can access it and have easier access. You don't have to Google it and search for it and all that, but it'll definitely be there. Sheena, if you had one last thing that you would like to say to our audience or that you want the audience to know about lupus, what would it be?
Take care of yourself. Go, if you're having these symptoms, go see your doctor. Start early. The earlier, the better. Take care of your diet, exercise, and your mental health is very, very important.
Amen to that. Amen to that. So wherever you are right now, wherever you listen to this show, I hope you took something from it, that you learned something. Sheena, again, thank you
Thank
so
you,
much
brother.
for blessing me with your time, for blessing me with your presence, and just for being such an awesome person you are to your family. Thank you for being such a strong support system. And it's awesome to see that love that you have and that love and support you have. And I pray that other people who are out here dealing with lupus
Yes,
and other
Lord, yes.
diseases, that you too will find that love and that support, and just know that love is out there for you. Sheena is more than just a guest, more than just my personal family. She is a testimony. So some of you out there right now who are single and afraid that you can't find a husband or a wife because you're dealing with this disease, Sheena is living proof that not only did she find a great man that supports her, that has her back, that has her front, that has her side,
Right.
that's with her throughout this, that she has kids and grandkids that's fighting with her. You too can find someone that truly will support you, that will truly be there for you, understand what you're going through, but also to assist you and make sure that you're comfortable and that you feel good and that you're fighting back against this. So don't give up hope.
Yes.
Don't give up on yourself. Just stay strong. Care about yourself. Think about yourself. Change your diet. And now that Sheena talked about cutting back all the meats and
Oh.
not drinking Pepsis no more, I guess
No,
I'm a
I haven't. No,
I
I
guess
don't even like the taste of it.
I'm gonna change. I'm gonna change too, Sheena. I'm gonna change. I don't know when, but I'm working on it.
It's a
Listen, I'm
process.
working on it.
I didn't do
Working
cold
on it.
turkey. It's a
I'm serious.
process. Trust me, I still suffer. I'll be like, let me just have a sip, and then I start coughing and carrying on. It's like, see, that's why I don't. But it's a process, bro.
So you know what it was for me? It's potato chips. That's what was getting me. Is potato chips. See, I can do without soda. I can do without cookies. I don't like cakes and stuff. It's potato chips. That's my Achilles heel. I got to learn to get
Don't
past these damn
buy
potato
it.
chips. I know, but when you go in the supermarket, listen, they just put it right when you walk in there. They always got potato chips, buy one, get one free. They don't have
Don't
no
fall
fruit,
for the
nothing.
banana in the
It's a
tailpipe.
trick.
Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Leave that alone.
I'm writing them a letter. As soon as I get off here, I'm writing a letter like, look, y'all got to change all display around, okay? Put that in back of the
Well,
store, okay?
I love
I
munchos. I eat a lot of munchos, so I can't down you because I love them.
Now listen, baked Lay's sour cream and onion chips. Man, it's the greatest thing you ever ate.
La,
I'm
la, la,
sorry.
la, la.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. We're gonna change subject. I'm sorry. I shouldn't talk about food right now. Nah,
Like,
because
I
like
tell people
even
not to eat that stuff.
nah, seriously, yeah, you should. Don't eat baked Lay's. They're very bad for you, high in sugar and stuff. But now, before I go though, no, seriously though, you do have to be careful what you're eating and stuff. And all jokes aside, because like my wife, your sister is pregnant and she got was it digestion? I can't say the word, but basically diabetes while she's pregnant. So right
Yes,
now,
so
we
diabetes.
gotta watch what and sugar and stuff. And, I'm more aware of stuff now. Now it's to the point every time I go in the supermarket and I buy something, I'm doing something I never did
Hmm.
before. I'm looking at the sugar content and everything I'm buying because I got to think about her health
Right.
now and making sure that this is not a long term thing. So all seriousness, I'm talking about chips and stuff, but all seriousness though, people, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. In all seriousness, you have to be careful because
Hmm.
looking at this, I swear I didn't know how much sugar was in sodas and how much
Yeah.
sugar was in stuff. And it was one thing, like I was drinking these juices, I looked at them and I haven't touched them since because they had like 80% sugar in them. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
So seriously, people, read the back of packages and stuff you buy. I know it tastes good and all that, but all jokes aside, not all things good. And I'm serious when I say I am trying to change my eating habits. I'm
That's good.
taking with my wife not being able to eat certain things, it's making me not eat
Yeah.
certain
Just
things.
don't
So
buy it.
seriously, take your diet
Just
serious.
eat a lot of fruit and vegetables. I love fruit. I love vegetables. You get tired of them sometimes. I ain't going front. You do get tired of them sometimes. But when you think
Yeah,
about versus this cake and this banana, it's like I'll live longer on the banana. So
right,
sometimes you
sure,
have to think
sure.
about that because I can't say I'm 100% done with sweets. It's a process.
Mm,
It's
it
a
is.
process. I try not to buy them, but sometimes I do have a sweet tooth and I will go get a crimpet or something. But it's not a
True.
all the time thing. That's every now and then I'll do that.
Yeah, you can get yourself out of the habit of it. It's like it's like learned behavior.
Yeah.
Once you like, okay, if you go cold turkey, it's gonna be a little harder. But if you just like slowly separate yourself from it, it gets to a point where you don't even miss it no
Nope.
more, and you don't even look for it. You even when you see it on display, you're not even tempted by it no more. Just like, eh. And
Yeah.
and then sometimes when you do eat it, you think it's gonna be good, and it's not even
Not
as
even
good as you
satisfying.
expected it to be. So it's not even worth it.
Yep.
So, with all seriousness, we gotta like check your diet and stuff. And I know eating vegetables and fruit sound boring, but get creative. We got the internet, you got all kinds of different recipes and stuff you could choose. So yeah, get creative. So that's what I do with my wife, get creative with things. But again, thank you so much for getting
You
on
are so
here
welcome
and educating
anytime.
not only the audience but me
Yes, anytime,
and
bro.
educating me about it. I really appreciate you, and I watch closely what you do. You always do the lupus walks. I see what you're doing. I respect and I support everything you do. And you always got love and support on this end. Anytime you want to come on the show, hopefully we're gonna check back in with
Oh
you
yeah.
closer to May to see what's up with this lupus walk. Is it going to go on? And hopefully bless us with your presence back then. Thank you again, Sheena, for being here with me. I
No
really
problem.
appreciate you.
You're so welcome, and hopefully, prayerfully, we'll see you guys at the walk this year.
Oh, I'm there. No, no said. I will be there. And you got, if it goes on this year, and I'm saying it on camera so you can play it back for
Okay.
me. If it goes on this year, hold on, wait. How long's the walk?
It's you can do 2K or 4K. It's up
Oh,
to
okay, we
you.
got it. We
But
good.
the
Yeah,
4K,
we got it.
we have so much fun, Alan. We have so much fun. You don't even realize. You like everybody like it's over already. Because I have you have snacks there. You have water. They have games. They have all the information you need there. They have sponsors. Like it's just a ball of fun. You
Uh,
go,
uh,
we go there. I have to be there at 7 because I'm a team lead.
mm,
It starts at 8:30. You're home at 10, 11 by 11 o'clock. Guaranteed. 10:30, 11 o'clock. You're home, rested up. So it's not
I'm
long
there.
at all.
I'm there. You got it on camera now. You got it on video. I'm not editing it out. I'm there. If it goes on this year, and I will be staying in touch with you,
Okay.
we're there. Me and my family, I'm bringing the kids and everything. We there because
Yeah, they got a lot
I
of
want to support
fun
you.
stuff for the kids.
They just need some exercise. My kids just need some exercise. I'm bringing them just so they can get some exercise.
Oh yeah,
I ain't
they got a lot.
like, they ain't
They
playing
got a
nothing.
lot.
They playing
But
exercise.
I appreciate you having me on here. I'm so excited to speak about lupus. My heart is just with you. You already know that from
Yes.
before this. But for you having me on here to speak about it, it's very important. That means a lot to me. It
No,
really does. It warms
I
my heart.
appreciate
That
that.
means a lot to me. And I
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much. No, thank you. And to all the audience, once again, thank y'all for joining us for this episode. Remember to like, comment, share this video. Even
Yes.
if you're not suffering from lupus disease, you're not the person that has it. Even if you don't know someone has it, it can help someone. So please share this video with as many people as possible. Get the information, get the word out there about lupus. Like I said, all the information we talked about will be in the description tab, so you'll be able to reach it. As always, if you want to hit me up, you can hit me up Facebook, past, present, but the best way to get in touch with me is Instagram. I promise y'all I'm gonna get my Facebook thing straightened out so I can get back in communication with y'all. But Instagram is the best way to get in touch with me if you want to. Um, Hit me up. Remember, like I said, like, comment, share, subscribe to my channel. And until next time I see you people, I only got one thing left to say, y'all. Stay tuned. Peace.